Hey everyone, Flying Dutchie here and welcome to Victoria 3. We're gonna play some Pivot of Empire. I am on a preview build, version 1.8.0. So everything you see in this playthrough can be different when the game comes out. There are still a couple of things that are sometimes not working how they should work in my opinion. So hopefully they will fix it soon. But yeah, we're gonna play a new game and we're gonna go towards India. But before we do this, there's now a new theme. We have the Indian Stone user interface, so it's a bit green. So let's use it this time. And we have the Maharaya paper map. Let's use that one. And for the tabletop and objects, we have some new stuff from Pivot of Empire. We have the Yali statue, ornate wood. We have lover's knife, hair brooch, and the Indian coin cloth. So we are going to use those. I have all the DLCs, of course. And we are going to play a new game. And we are going to play in India, because this patch has a huge amount of upgrades, new features, and we are going to play in India because that is the main focus of this patch. But before we do, look at the Netherlands. There is something weird going on over here. Limburg is part of Belgium, and there is some new mechanics with the split between the Dutch and Belgium, because it's not a long time ago that Belgium formed, so that is a new thing. The map has been reworked in some places. I think most of the reworks are over here. As you can see, we have now a huge amount of vassals. And we're going to play as the East India Company. We are a chartered company, and let's start the game. And let's take a look at some of the new things. I wrote them down on paper so that I can explain a couple of things to you. As you can see over here already, the user interface is cut off over here for some reason. So that is a bit weird, but maybe they will fix it. The first things that I want to talk about, let's just go over all the screens here. So let's start with politics. There are no political movements, and with your right mouse button, we can now suppress and bolster movements. You can no longer suppress your interest groups, so that is different. And we, for example, have a pro-slavery movement over here, and then there is a support and activism. Now, you can see that there are thresholds, and of course, the more political movement, the easier it is to enact a law that they are pursuing. So, and there is some activism. At the moment, we don't have any big activism. I think when it goes over 75%, that we get a secession going on. So we have to keep an eye on our political movement and what we have at the start of the game. We have a pro-slavery movement. So some people in our country like slaves. So we have to keep that in check. We have a Hindu rights movement who is having a very dominant support. Makes sense, because the Hindus are different in this game now. They are in a caste system, where we'll go over later as well. We have a Sunni rights movement. We have a British Indian supremacist movement. And a utilitarian movement. Oh, I like that one. And the groups for the East India Company are different, as you can see. The East India Company itself are the industrialists, but these are called the East India Company. We have the presidency armies, but then we have the zamindars, who are the landowners in India, the riots, the civil servants, the badraloks, and the Hindu priesthood. So that works a bit different in this patch. Now, what we also have new here is that we have a caste system. Let's talk about it now, I think, because that will also make us go to the next part of what changed in this patch. This is the discrimination and acceptance rework. Working completely different. So since we have the caste not enforced right now, you can see that all these classes we have in our country, we'll go over these, what that means soon, but it just makes some of our groups very acceptable. The Brahmins are very acceptable at the moment, but the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, the Shudras and Dalits are the slaves, I remember that, they get minus 10% cultural acceptance. This is a percentage, not a flat bonus. Now if you go further and confirm more of our castes, you can see the pyramid, and then there is a book under it, and then it's chain under it, so they cannot leave it. you can see that when people are in a certain class, they cannot get any qualifications anymore, so they cannot grow to a higher status, a higher strata. So we don't want that, because I think I'm going to try to make some sort of egalitarian India, where I will try to break free from Great Britain, eventually. But yeah, that is just the new way over here. That also means that, for example, the cultural law has changed. They now give acceptance for cultures based on the culture itself, the cultural traits, heritages, and cultural traits, and primary culture. If we would, for example, go to an ethno-state, then we would get 100 accepted for primary culture, and anything else will only get plus 40 and 20. That means that almost everyone else that accept your primary culture will get discriminated and will have not good acceptance. So that is new. And of course, multiculturalism, you can see almost everyone is fully accepted. You need 80 points to get fully accepted. So that is all new. Let's go to a new tab here as well. Do we need to go to the markets? Yeah, well, let's first go to the society, because we were just talking about this. This is a new tab, and in this tab you can now see the 5 different statuses, acceptances. So at the moment we are looking, you can click these, at the full acceptance pops. Only 0.37% of pops in my country, the British East India Company, are fully accepted. Who are those? Well, if you click on it, you can see the population down here. So let's take a look at these. They have full acceptance. When they are in this level, they gain 10% political strength for full acceptance. They get voting rights, they get a bit more wage, and they allow conversion for the full acceptance status. I don't really know exactly what that means, but let's find out hopefully later. We do have some bureaucrats over here. We have Bengali, Hindu bureaucrats that are fully accepted. Why are they fully accepted? And I think that has something to do with their social class. They are the Brahmins. Brahmins in this country are academics, bureaucrats, and clergymen. And they, because we have the caste system, are always having a minimum of 80. Remember, over here, the caste system? The Brahmins social class have always plus 80. They will always be fully accepted. So these are not English. These are actually Hindu people. Well, is that true actually? Wait a minute. Yeah, they are Hindus that are fully accepted. It doesn't tell you here why. That is a bit annoying. They should work on that, in my opinion. It would be better if they also show it here. Cannot be lower than 80 because they are part of Brahmins. Now, what are Brahmins? Well, if we go to the classes over here, this is just the British Indian caste system. This is only in Britain. You can see different classes here. The upper strata consist of the Brahmins, and the Brahmins are the academics, bureaucrats, and clergymen. They will always be fully accepted. Now we have some middle class, which is the capitalists, aristocrats, engineers, and officers. And they are the Kshatriyas. They are traditional warriors. They are charged with military and leadership positions. They enjoy most rights and privileges, bar the ability to dictate divine will. So, and when we take a look at our statuses here, we can see that we have some bureaucrats, of course, clergymen, officers, and aristocrats. So apparently some of our officers are having a really good acceptance status. Why do they have a good acceptance? Well, they are English. Primary culture. We have Scottish. They are sharing an heritage culture that European, plus 80. They are Protestant. They are sharing the state religion. But you can see there are no Hindus over here. So then we have to go further back here. We go to the second class citizens. 60 to 79. You can see the man with the top hat pointing at someone. It allows them assimilation. They have political strength. They also have voting rights, and they allow conversion. So these people are having a decent life, I think. There is not really anything happening. But we only have one group. That is the bureaucrats. We have some Jewish bureaucrats, Armenians, and so on. But when we go further down, we go to the open prejudice. You see that there is a wall between the man with the top hat and someone else looking away. Like they are not existing, really. And you can see here we get some penalties. For example, they get less political strength, they get less qualifications, and they get less money. So these people are just getting straight out less money for the same job. Now, when you go further, it gets even worse, of course, minus 30%, minus 20%. Luckily, no one is currently at the violent hostility. So yeah. This allows work in government buildings for the violent hostility state, so they cannot work in the government buildings. Okay. So that is the society tab here and the cultures. Yeah, that has been reworked, so we are going to work with that, of course. Anything else I wanted to talk about was the food availability. We have a new tab at the market. It's called food security. There are now famines and droughts and heavy rain stuff in the game. For example, right now we can see that in Punjab, 94% of the pops are starving. They are in mild starvation. We can see that in this is the whole British market, which consists of a lot of territories, by the way. You see that 4% is having mild starvation. And you can see that it starts at 40% food security. So you always want to be over 40%. And that food security is based on the price of all the foods in the market. Or state-wise food, of course. And at the moment we can see that we are having a pretty high grain price in the British market. We also have a decent amount of fish, but it's also pretty expensive. And that means that people that don't have a lot of money are paying a lot of their income to grain, and that lowers their food security. And that gives them some starvation penalties, and then they will start getting mortality and less birth rate, as you can see over here. I think when you are above 40% there are no penalties, but I am not sure about that actually. So we will take a look at that more in detail later as well. So that is new. We have now an option to do bulk nationalization. This has been completely reworked. We can now nationalize filtered buildings. And you can now fully nationalize all buildings in your country. We're not going to do this, but you can do this now. I am waiting for the option to fully privatize all the buildings in the country, because that is still a thing we cannot do, and that I use a lot. And the last thing I want to talk about that is completely reworked is companies. We start with the East India Company. Companies now no longer give a bonus to all the buildings that they give a bonus for. It works differently now. There's a huge throughput bonus, as you can see. 40% is what we have. And construction is now at 64% going quicker. But that is only for the buildings that are owned by the company. So previously, companies could not own buildings, but now they can. They can own, for example, some opium plantations. And when they own a share of the building, and I will show it to you very soon, we're going to get a huge throughput bonus, which is amazing. Let's take a look at this. We do have, for example, our capital here in Calcutta in West Bengal, which we need road maintenance soon, and where we don't tax the people at all because there are too many people over here. There are 17 million people here. We cannot tax that with 2 government buildings. We have to work on that. We can see at the buildings tab here. What is this actually? Oh yeah. We can see that we have the East India Company, and they own 17 buildings. This works exactly the same as the manor houses did and the financial districts. They all have their portfolio and they make dividends, and based on your laws they are going to reinvest the money. At the moment that is going to be very low in our country. I will show to you guys why that is soon. Because we have a new economic law that is also new. So all the money that they make is going into their own pockets for now. But when we go to the East India Company, we can see that they own 5 levels of opium plantations in Bihar, 5 opium in West Bengal, 5 in the British Indian Oudh, 1 in West Bengal and 1 in Hindustan, my vassal. We have a huge amount of vassals, and they make a huge amount of money, which is all going to the capitalists, the Bengali Hindus and the shopkeepers, and only 600 is getting reinvested because we have penalties to reinvestment. When you take a look at our income, you can see that we only have a super small investment pool because we have a very annoying economic law. we want to get rid of that at some point. We also lose a lot of taxation because we are having a bureaucracy deficit and we are not taxing the people good enough because we don't have the tax capacity. But yeah, this is all new. And all the buildings that are owned by this East India Company, they get the bonus and nothing else. And this building will also build more of themselves by the investment pool. So if there's more money in the investment pool, then the East India Company can use that to build something and get more into their portfolio. At the moment we don't really care because we don't get a lot of reinvestments. They are just gonna get richer, the people that are working. They have a standard of living of 64, these people. 64! That's just amazing. Holy shit. Look what they are consuming, guys. They are using transportation the most. 34%. They are just traveling the whole time. They are opulent. So yeah, we need to make them less rich, these people, and get more into the investment pool eventually. Now let's take a look at one of their buildings. So let's go to the opium plantation in West Bengal. We can now see that the owners of the 25 over here, 15 levels are owned by the manor houses in the home counties of Great Britain. So Great Britain owns 15 opium plantations in my country. 5 are owned by the private workforce. And here it is, 5 levels are owned by the East India Company. And only these ones give a throughput bonus. So we are seeing over here that we have a 62% throughput bonus. So we create 62% more opium out of nowhere. And that is because of a couple of things. We have, of course, 20 levels. So we get the 20% economy of scale. Then we are having a 7.8% from the East India Company. That is the percentage of what this East India Company owns compared to the total. So we don't get the full bonus, the 40%, but we get 5/25th part, so that's 20%. So 25% of 39.8 is 7.8. Yeah, that's around correct, right? So that is what it's doing. And we have, of course, some values over here as well. I guess in West Bengal we also have some bonuses. Yeah, 25% here from the Bengal Delta. So Bengal is really good for any farming. So that is new. And I think that is what we are going to stay with. Let's just start playing now. We are part of the British market. And that means that we can go to all our buildings. And that we can put all our buildings to the latest production method. Because the British market is having almost everything. And you can see that most of the buildings will also be better with the new production method. So let's go for it. We also need more paper. Gonna get better coal mines, better iron mines. We have a couple of gold mines as well. The ports I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna make everything in Anchorage except for my capital. There we go. All the government administrations will go to the filing cabinet because we need more bureaucracy, of course. We're gonna make the sawmill so we get more logs. We're gonna do fishing trawlers for more fish. And that is going to be it. We're gonna put my construction sector to iron frame buildings. And then we can start doing the game, I think. Yeah, I think we can just take a look here as well. So we have a lot of authority. And we're gonna use this to get more agricultural throughput at the start of the game. But first start with the market access in West Bengal here. Do the road maintenance, so that will go away. And you can see that we have a couple of things that are expensive. Remember, we are together with more countries in the market. So if we are building something, then all these countries are going to profit from it as well. Including Australia, of course, Canada, South Africa, and my vassals. Now, what is my income all about? We have a little bit of income, we have poll taxes, we have a little bit of consumption taxes. We are having a consumption tax on tobacco that doesn't give anything, so let's remove it. The one on opium is fine. Anything else I want to tax? Maybe services? And the luxury clothes, let's go with that one. But we get a little bit more money. The other ones are not really worth it in my opinion. And it makes it harder for the people to buy as well. So let's just do it like this. We have a bit of high taxation. I guess that is fine. The other things are on normal. And with that we make 36,000. We do have some tariffs apparently. We have 42,000 minting because we have a lot of population. But you can see it over here. 24,000 is going to our overlord, Great Britain. They are taking 40% of my treasury. And this will only get worse. Because we are in the power block with Great Britain. And with Great Britain getting more vassalization and more principles that makes their subjects more or less autonomous, we're going to pay even more and more. So for now we will stay happy with Great Britain, but eventually want to break free from them. Okay, well we've looked at that. Let's spend more of our authority. Now our biggest states are East Bengal with 5 million people. No, 21 million people. That is this one. And since we have only subsistence paddies over here and a couple of other plantations, there is nothing else going. A little bit of textile mills and that's it. We have plantations and these subsistence rice paddies. How many people are over here? We have 5 million peasants over here, making a huge amount of grain and a bit of other things like furniture and other things. So, and the throughput is already 35%. Because we have the East Bengal and the British East India Company bonus. Why do we have 10% bonus? I will show it very soon. But we can increase this bonus even further by doing encourage agricultural industry. We get 20% more agricultural throughput, and that also counts for your subsistence paddy. So we're going to do this everywhere because we have peasants everywhere in our empire. So we go to West Bengal here as well. We do exactly the same. We're going to Bihar. We have 12.2 million people. That is this one. Also encourage my my ranches. So these 3 states are our owned biggest states that we have. These 3. We also have Bombay. We own Bombay. That is this one. We have a couple of vassals and a bit of Portugal. Portugal now owns this one as well. This little bits of land. Denmark owns this one. And this island. And France owns this one. But Bombay is my 4th biggest state. So also over here we're going to do the agricultural industry. And the Carnatic, which is this state over here, we're going to do exactly the same. And maybe we should also do it over here in the northern Sirkars. Because why not? We have a huge amount of points. Okay, that is all done. Further, I will promote social mobility so that we maybe get a little bit more of qualifications in my biggest states over here. And let's see what we do with the rest of our points later, I guess. Okay. Now, we need to take a technology. There is only one technology that we should take at the start of the game. And that is the Central Archives. As you can see, Tier 1 fully researched. Over here as well. And over here as well. So we are actually pretty good with technology. And yes, we do have the corporate charter so that we have our East India Company. But we are going to go with Central Archives. We get more taxation capacity. And we get more bureaucracy by a better production method for our government administration. That can fix our bureaucracy problem. So let's immediately pick this one. A couple of messages here. We have British East Indian Pegu, which is this island over here. It is isolated, and that means that the people cannot get any market access at all. But there are only 1.9 people living here. So if I build a port, how many people do I need? Well, maybe we should just build a port here so that the people at least get some market access. Yeah, let's just start giving the market access. We have another one. We have the British Indian Malaya. And that is over here. We own these 2 bits. This is Great Britain itself, Singapore. But we own these 2. And how many people are living over here? Okay, here is a bit more, 67,000. Let's build another port here as well. So that they get market access, and then we can get rid of these messages over here. And yeah, we see that in India and Pegu, they are not having their standard of living. That is because they have no market access, so we'll click that one away. Oh. And it also clicks the other one away, apparently. Oh no, it's over here. And the British Indian Gujarat. In British Indian Gujarat, people are starving. Oh. Is that because you have not enough food? Yeah, so let's start building a farm over here. And that is exactly what we're going to do at the start of the game. We're going to build those ports and we're going to build a lot of farms. So let's unpause. Let's start playing. Oh, I have to pause again because we have a little bit of influence. Now let's take a look at my vassals. We have so many vassals over here. As you can see, this list is amazingly long. And it is in our interest to keep their liberty desire low. Because we didn't talk about our journal entries. We need to complete those. We can only do this easily when people are having a low liberty desire. At the moment everyone is having a low liberty desire, but we can just always improve relations with a couple of these, right? Here, Kuch. There we go. And we have no more points, so. There we go. We will let the game run. Persia is improving relations. We have a famine in the East India Company. So let's take a look at my food security. And where is this? That's not my state. That is British. Singapore is British. British Kenya is British. Bastar is my vassal, I think. So we have to take a look at Bastar. Orcha. Not sure what that one is. British Indian Pegu, that is mine, but we will get docks there, so that soon it will go away. Or can we see here? Oh, this is the Danish market access. So yeah, we are working on it. And at the moment we have a famine, so that is not that great. Now, luckily for us, my food prices should be a little bit better, because my subsistence rice paddies are going to make more grain, because I put those edicts everywhere. That should make my standard of living to go up as well at the start of the game. Let's go to speed 5. Let's take a look at what we need to do actually. We can start this actually right now, so let's take a look at the journal entries. We have a couple of things we can do. Because there are a couple of new things. So we have the unstable rush. And we need to make sure that we complete this one. Because I think we will get something afterwards, but I'm not sure because I never managed to do it yet. But the game is easier now, since a couple of days on this preview build. So hopefully they will balance it out before it gets released. What do we need to do? We need to complete the Consolidate Colonial Rule Journal entry, which is this one. We need to get the average standard of living higher or equal than 10. We are at 9, so that should be manageable. It will fail if the stability of any presidency has been medium or less for 100 months. We have to do this for the next 25 years. If we fail this, we get a huge revolt in India. Or if we don't do it within this time limit. So we would love to do this. We need to complete this one. Get 10 standard of living and less radicals. So we need to keep people happy. What do we need to do? We need to control at least 80% of eligible states worldwide that is owned by me or is a subject by me, that is owned by Great Britain or is a subject of Great Britain. The highest British Indian secession movement is less than 30% for 10 years. We cannot have any secessions for 10 years. And they should always be lower than 50%. So, a lot of things we cannot do anything about. We can just make people's lives good by giving them enough food and stuff. But what do we need to do? We need to control all these states. We need to control Punjab. Now, I wish that was a bit... Wait, I can do it here. Yes. So let's take a look on the map here. We need to control Punjab. You can see the highlighted on the top left of the East India Company. We need to control those lands or vassalize them or conquer them. Punjab Hills, we have part of it already, not everything. Sindh, which is on its own. Pashtunistan, which is above that part that we already needed. We need Quetta, which is in... Is it Afghanistan? Or Pakistan? I don't know. We have Kashmir. It's over there. Balochistan. On the left of Sindh. And then on the right side, we need to get Mandalay, which is in Burma. And Sagang, which is also in Burma. The Shan state, which is also in Burma and Shan. And we need Pegu, which is also in Burma and my island. So getting Burma on my side and Shan, together with this land that is colonizable, so we also want to colonize this part, that will complete this side. And we need to annex all of this part. And 80% of it. While we need to keep the people stable. How do we do this? We have the Bengal presidency over here. Now, that is something that is in the back of the game. You cannot open the Bengal presidency. There is no country or organization that is this. But the Bengal presidency is the Bengal, Central India and Delhi region. The Bombay presidency is Bombay. And Madras presidency is in Madras. So, this is the Bengal presidency. This is the Bombay presidency. And this is the Madras presidency. And we need to make sure that their stability stays high. You can see at the moment, we are going down. Because why? We are having high taxes. But you can see that there is another thing listed over here already. We get 0.0 from subjects with low liberty desire. Now, that is why we want our subjects to have a low liberty desire. Then we get a bonus. Then we can keep these people stable. Because we need to keep them stable while we control these states. That is the goal. Now, and with all that in mind, we're going to start playing. Let's see what we have here. We have raising concerns. The Zamindars, who are typically here, they're the owners of large estates. Reflect their concerns about the government decisions clearly favoring the interests of the East India Company. What a surprise. We can do this one. Let's open the interest groups here. You can see them. We can make the Zamindars happy and the East India Company less happy. We might lose this thing here. We would love the bureaucracy. Yeah, that's better. Or we do this one and we make them a little bit angry. Let's make them a little bit angry. I would love to keep the bureaucracy for now. Got discovered in the North Island. That is not anywhere near me. And we have the first event, Kalapani. Due to prescriptions in the Hindu faith against crossing seas, soldiers... Oh, really? Soldiers have been allowed an exemption from overseas service in the past. Some administrators now argue that this exception should be removed. And there we go. We can make our presidential armies get -2 interest group approval. It makes the relations with Great Britain go down with 20. Or we do this one. 2% of the Hindu officers in the East India becomes radical. 2% of the Hindu servicemen become radical. And the presidency stability, so this game over here, they will decrease in all 3 presidencies by 1 every month for 1 year. So we go down with 12. No, we're gonna piss off the presidency armies and Great Britain. Because my relation with Great Britain right now is still very good. So we can piss them off a little bit without getting any annoying things happening to us. Now, since we are now building the port, I think it is time to start our first war. And maybe we should start the first war in Kalsarai. I think that is the former... how were they called over here? The Punjab? No. I forgot the name of this. Yeah, it was the Punjab. They are now called the Kalsarai. And Yemu is their puppet, I think. Let's start conquer some territory, shall we? Now, we cannot vassalize these guys, because they have a too high of a ranking. Since we are a puppet, we can only be rank 16. And these guys are... Actually, they are higher than me. Holy shit. They are a major power, and we are a minor power, because we are a subject. If we would break free now, we would be, I think, the 4th or 5th country in the world. So, I would love to be that one. So yeah, we cannot vassalize this guy, but we can start eating it. And then maybe vassalize him next time. So let's demand this state here from them. We get a lot of infamy, which pisses off the liberty desire in some of my vassals. You can see that the higher your... Oh wait, it's not listed here yet. Should be listed here soon though. No, it's not listed. Well, most of them are going down, as you can see, over time, because they are all pretty small. So I think we are fine. But that means that in this presidency, the Bengal presidency, we are gonna get maybe some turmoil, because we are taking the state. And that could make it that that this will go up again. But let's find out. Now, we are fighting 85 troops with 24 defense. How good is my army? Ooh, you're not that great. I'm not gonna upgrade my troops though. You are an experienced defensive strategist. Do we have anything good here? Not really. Well, I will mobilize these troops at the last possible moment. And I will tell them to come over here. I think I'm gonna do that with these two armies. How are you guys? Not having any special. Okay, well. With the majority of troops, I think we can take care of it. We also have another thing here. Declare neutrality, please. It's all fine. Hanover left the British Empire. Does that mean that... that Victoria is there already? Yay! Victoria is there, and that means that Hanover is now no longer under British rule, I think. And that means that Prussia can now take it, to form, hopefully, the North German Federation. Okay, I think we have built one port now, right? Let's see if that actually helps. I mean, it should. There we go. They have market access now, so I hope that their standard of living will get better. Yeah, it's going up now, rapidly. Good. And the people that are gonna work here are gonna get paid by me, so... that should be fine. We have from the heart of the sea. A new admiral has presented himself at the port of Bihar. Cheerfully acclaimed by his peers, however, the nephew of Maidland, who is a historical character, it's also got the most profound interest with the same title. We can get more loyalists. Or we make these Zamindars happy. No, we don't need to make them happy, I think. Let's go with this one. Let's get some more loyalists. At the moment we have 4 million loyalists in the country. That's nice. I forgot to put my troops there. Whoops. That's what happens when you record and talk and do everything at the same time. So hopefully we don't lose that much territory. Okay. Are they still attacking me? We are attacking. Are we going to attack? Sure. We have 2 battles starting. 25 offense, they have 33, they have blunder, but we have a double the troops, so I think we're gonna win this battle, but we are gonna lose some people, unfortunately. This one, we also have more than double the people, so we are gonna win the battles over here. Yeah. We can see that my... Who is building this? Can I still see that somewhere? I think my East India Company is building the opium plantations, so that we can get the throughput bonus, but I am not 100% sure who is building this. Yeah, there we go. 64% company construction bonus. So this thing is gonna get built super quickly. As you can see. There we go. And that means that my throughput, of course, is now going up. So we're gonna make a huge amount of opium in this state. Because now one of the 4 levels is owned by my East India Company, so we get 1/4 of their bonus, which is 10%. Very nice. Great Britain is doing their war against Ming. We want a treaty port so that they can get that stuff over there. And we are going to take one tiny bit of land over here. Of course we are now at war with Great Ching because we are a puppet of Great Britain. We cannot say no. And there we go, the ports are built, so that should mean that they now all have market access. You guys as well? Yes. And their standard of living is going up. Very, very nice. We are almost already at 10. Now, a lot of things are super expensive. Let's keep building this wheat farm, because we had some famines over there. Let's not build for a little bit, because the interest is pretty high for us. Fang is damaging relations, okay. We have another event here, the suspected proselytism. The presence of Protestant clergymen in British Indian Mysore has caused some locals to suspect that British East India Company is planning to attempt converting people to Christianity. We can say, it couldn't be further from the truth. We will not convert them for 9 years. And the Protestants become more radical. The Hindu priesthood would get happy. What do we get when they get happy? 10% more authority. Or we do this one. The Hindus will become more radical. The Protestants will become more loyal. But the presidency stability will go down with 1 for 1 year, so minus 12. But we don't want that, so we are going to do this one. We are not going to convert the people. Now, I think we are winning this war to conquer this territory. We're almost ready. There we go. We can propose the peace deal, and then the war is over. Now we own this province over here. Now, there's a lot of turmoil, and turmoil does not help with the stability. As you can see here, we have minus 0.04 from states in turmoil. I can do violent suppression, but I'm not sure if that helps. What I should do all the time is, when I do this, reset production methods. And here as well. Let's find out if suppression is helping. I mean, they are now at minus 0.4, right? And if I do this, does that help? No, I don't think so. Wait. Yeah, only the effects are going down. Yeah, we don't need to do that, so let's just cancel it for now. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop the turmoil over here. We are angry. We are so angry. But you shouldn't be angry. because you're going to get access to the market. And now when you take a look at this thing, we now have 20%. So we are making our way towards slowly conquering the territory. So what we should do is take something here, then maybe over here, and then go over there again, so that the turmoil can hopefully go away over time. Now, with that, we're going to end this first episode, guys. I hope you are going to enjoy this. Hopefully, we are going to make this a nice playthrough. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. Say something in the comment section. And then I see you guys in the next part. Bye bye.